Coming up next at the Wild Dog Arcade, the designers and programmers from Stern help us uncover what we want to know about King Kong Pinball, plus with some surprises.
We're not, well, we have a great relationship with Toho, but it's not unilaterally our decision.
Stay tuned.
Basically his body doubles. No, zombie Yeti Jeremy Backer guy. He gets two names.
I'm Jody, I'm the licensing director. I'm just here to watch the show. This is Rick Nagel, lead programmer.
And I'm Josh Henderson, second command programmer for the game.
Actually, Jody usually has a job of licensing stuff. It's the job of licensing stuff out on this one.
Yeah, now Jeremy's going to make me a style guy. We'll be making some art.
And Matthew Dyer back there joined us, leading our marketing team.
Hey. Hello.
And Keith's back.
Yep.
So Keith, take it away.
I'll shift to the center here.
You move over here, right?
Yeah.
Welcome to King Kong Mid the Terror Island. Basically our own spin on the 1932 novel. We took the character names that were from the novel and kind of gave them their own personalities, their own jobs. So Laura and Darrow is an archaeologist. So is Jack. They're on the island looking for treasures. Carl Denham is still a filmmaker, but he's more of a documentary filmmaker, trying to follow their adventures and selling the footage. He's very selfish. All he cares about is getting the shot. He doesn't care what happens to his actors. We have Captain Anglehorn, voiced by the legendary Rick Zeef. His first mate, Jimmy, voiced by Q. So yeah, we have our own characters, their own personalities, but overlowing the story arc of they arrive at the island, they don't really know what to expect, and then they come across Kong. Kong gets enamored with Anne, and the rest kind of just follows the story everybody knows. So we'll go over the features. We'll start with the major toys. On the bottom left, we have our magnetic spider. So basically, the magnet activates the spider and pulls it down to catch the ball. If you pulse it really quickly, instead of catching a ball, it'll kind of throw it around like a normal magnet. To the left of that, we have our river, which is a little zigzag sculpt that the ball goes under. It's just kind of not only to visually, see something cool, also slows the ball down when the ball's coming down this far of the channel. Keeps the ball out of the river and feeds it to the upper left flipper. They'll stay up for a few seconds and then drop down, so you can't stay in the little drop target area forever. Speaking of this upper left flipper, there are two main objectives for it. It's knocking down the drop targets, and there's also a crossover ramp right above. So you can shoot this crossover ramp, it'll feed the upper right flipper, and there's two shots from the upper right flipper, the biplane ramp, the big helical, super cool ramp. And then the shot above it will actually return the ball back to the upper left flipper when the diverter's up. So you can do this little figure eight infinite loop up there, but it will eventually drop the diverter, so obviously we're not doing that all day long. The center ramp, that's our main locking ramp. In normal cases, it's just going to fling around to the left. If you complete the drop targets enough times, it will lock on this ramp and activate a diverter to feed the ball into the subway car. You like all three locks, lock all three balls. Kong will stop the third ball. He's looking for Anne. It's not her, so he gets mad and takes it out on the train. Dumps the train over, balls flying everywhere, and very chaotic. In front of that, we have the gong sculpt and mech. So it'll act as a bash tool. You bash it, it'll kind of spring the ball right back at you. If you have an island mode lit from hitting it, it'll just act as a passive target. You can shoot right through it. So we have two different coils controlling that, depending on what we want it to do. There are some modes where we want it to act more like a bash toy. So if you're actually ringing the gong, it kind of swings back and forth and actually kind of has a realistic gong vibe to it. We have our little punchback targets. So the right orbit is a little kind of a corkscrew, hits this target and comes flying back to the upper right flipper.
Scares the crap out of you.
You have to be prepared because you're not expecting it. If we need to stop the ball up there, that target will not fire and instead will drop into the VUC right here. Over all the way on the right, we have another VUC. That's our cave. It's shootable with the flipper up or down, but you generally get more points if the flipper's down. There's also a little hidden target way back there which you can't see. Some modes that'll give you bonus points for hitting that target all the way in the back. And to start the show, King Kong. 3 motors. He's controlled by our 3D software. So anything that we can do in the Blender software that we show on the screen, we can also do with him. He can punch the glass, he can stop the ball, he can knock the train over, and he does a lot of little dances and whatever else we ask him to do. Over here's the Pro model. Most of all the shots are there. A couple of the toys that are still in there. The magnet's still there. There's no spider, so the magnet kind of flings the ball around without the spider actually catching it. We can still catch the ball in the magnet. It's just not the same effect. The river's there. All 4 flippers are there. The diverter is there. The 4-bank drop target is there. The biggest minuses are the gong mech. The entire mech is gone, so we kind of compensate. We have Opto there to kind of compensate when we need that shot. The Kong does not animate, it is a static sculpt. The biplane, instead of a sculpt, is kind of a layered 2D plastic thing.
Very impressive, by the way.
The little plane?
Serious for plastic.
This thing?
Chef's
Oh, that's
kiss,
Harrison
yes.
Drake.
Chef's kiss for that.
Yeah.
Right, here for the plastic.
It's pretty-
Everything else is the same. The rules are mostly the same. The slight differences are how you start modes, since there's no gong, so we have you shooting other shots to, like the island modes, at the same shot, rather than just keep backhanding the gong shot over and over and over. So those are the 2 primary differences. Can't really think of anything else, so open it up to questions.
Tell us about the new interface.
Yeah.
The menu system?
Yeah.
I think we have our own video coming after that. I am not as familiar with it, but I'll show it to you real quick.
So the dots are gone. We have a new quick adjustment menu at the front with most of the things people actually go diving and looking for in there. So free play, right at the front, which people go looking for, and a bunch of other settings, volume, things like that. So we kind of put the stuff everybody looks for on the front screen here. And then there's a number of different diagnostics. You'll see we've now added images, and there's actually playfield images that show you where everything is on the playfield that you're testing and looking at. So a lot of work has gone through to sort of reimagine, re-envision what this is. You know, the old dots are back from forever ago, right? When it was dots and all of that. So, you know, time has moved on, and we're doing a lot to update the platform, right? You guys hopefully have noticed that we have much quieter power, more performant, better power supplies that are much quieter now. We're going to have this. We've got a lot more improvements coming for just ease of use, because a lot of these go to people's homes now. Don't just go to commercial environments, so they don't know what setting 42 is. They gotta find a way through. So we think this will be a lot easier. We want to see how everybody likes it. Keeps going through some of the
I'm just making a punch the
adjustments
glass.
now. So you make a punch the glass. You can also, if you don't want them to punch the glass, you can stop them from punching the glass. Whatever you want to do, there's a lot of control there. So you can see there's a lot of images on what's going on here. So we want to see how everybody likes this, how everybody uses it, that they're good with it, and then the plan is to move it to some other games as well, and get feedback on how everybody likes it. But we think it's a good quality of life improvement, as Keith makes Kong dance.
Is there anything new with it related to Insider Connected that's now possible in Insider Connected? Or
No, this is all kind of on the system, but obviously this is some of the infrastructure we need to do some other things. So nothing new on that quite yet, but we need to kind of update the menu systems.
Yeah, definitely.
So for like newbies walking up to the game, What is the thing that happens? Like, so there's progression, even if you're just like flip.
Yes.
What is that progression? If you're not like a pro player, and you go, I gotta go mode. I can't remember from your interview. You said.
So there are two main ones. The biggest one I would call is the climb system. So whenever you're playing, you'll see these yellow climb arrows. They're almost always lit. Each one you shoot, he climbs a little higher. Then when he reaches a threshold, he lights one of the windows on the building, and that's some kind of award, some kind of mode.
That's what the 100, 200.
Yeah.
300? Okay.
So 100, 200, 300, those all represent an award for you. And when you complete an entire floor, it lights a New York City event over on the right side of the screen. So each floor completed will be kind of like I consider it like a tier 2 Godzilla mode. There will be some special mode related to that. There's also the King Kong letters.
Right.
You can get each unique skill shot you hit will give you one, but also we have a meter on the left side. For each switch you hit, it's building this meter. When you fill up the meter, you hit the gong, and it also will spot your King Kong letter. And if you spell King, it'll light the skill shot mode called Deadeye. You complete King Kong, it'll light a T-Rex battle.
This Deadeye?
Deadeye is it's a skill shot mode. You shoot the cave, and then you can plunge skill shots for 30 seconds. So you hit three skill shots, and it'll light the skill shot jackpot, the Deadeye jackpot, all the way on the river.
What's the skill?
Is that your love letter to Congo?
Yeah.
You can ask Rick. We wanted to do it on Maiden.
Oh, okay.
We've been wanting to do that for a long time.
We got good enough at the code to actually do it in this game. Really kind of difficult.
Yeah. So yeah, props to Dean Grover for figuring that one out.
Yeah.
I've got one.
Yeah.
During the design process, how organic was the King Kong gong? Like, when did that first come into your mind? Where you're like, Kong gong? Like, did that?
Originally, it was always my vision to have the gong. Because
Okay.
it's almost in the book, in almost every movie, it's represented. That's how you get introduced to King Kong. So I wanted that to be, as soon as you hit that, that's when stuff starts going south. So originally I had it kind of motorized, at rigid target and motorized, but then when it was up, it kind of blocked everything. I was like, okay, this is good. So then we devised the system to make it, you can, still is a bash toy, but then we unlock it, as it were, with a couple coils so you can shoot through it. That way it never blocks your Kong like it was originally doing, and we remixed that.
Cool. Got questions?
Yeah.
In addition to, because I heard that on the playfield you wanted to pay homage to the prototype for King Kong. Were there any other elements from the prototype that you were thinking about putting into this game?
No, not really. It was more of an homage to Kevin O'Connor because I know he did a bunch of work on this game and just to see it pretty much get thrown out. And I was like, if you want to, I'll arrange the inserts in almost the same if you want to do that art. And he's like, oh yeah, and he was very touched by that, and he's like, yeah, let's do that. The only other minor reference is 2.42 million bananas. So that's the 1 million banana shot today's inflation rate. It's a shot that you can't shoot, but if you don't have enough inertia shooting the left orbit, it'll fall in there, and just you get something, just bragging rights.
Yeah.
We'll make that an insider achievement for sure. Any other questions?
How many skill shots so
Ooh,
far?
that's Josh Henderson.
It was a ton. It was like 5 or 6 of them. And like Keith said, every unique skill shot you make, you get a Kong letter. There's some fun ones. There's some regular skill shots you can go for, and some secret ones you'll have to try to find yourself.
Yeah, there's more than you would think because you can also plunge to the upper left flipper. We also have callouts, like 12 unique skill shot callouts that we're trying to find skill shots to use those callouts. Some are like super duper mega extreme secret skill shot. Those guys have a lot of fun doing the voice work. Any other questions?
All right, Jeremy, you gonna tell them about developing the world?
Oh yeah,
Artwork and world. Go up there. Go up there. Turn.
I'll hide over here. No,
Every color selection was yours.
No. Believe it or not, the palette for this was developed before I ever came onto this. It was actually Kevin O'Connor.
If you look at Kevin's work, like RoboCop,
Yeah.
Congo, those are his colors.
Yeah. So Kevin O'Connor actually started working with Keith because again, Keith wanted Kevin on this. Keith, of course, loved the original game that he's never played.
As Gary will say, it's better that way.
Yeah. And do you want to talk about it? No. And so Kevin had come in and started coming up with all these concepts. At one point, Greg Ferris came in. I don't know, he had, of course, originally, I think you had approached Greg about those two working on it, and Greg, of course, retired. And then it sort of came to light that, hey, actually he could be involved. And so okay. So Kevin and Greg primarily worked together on the playfield. And then Kevin and I primarily worked on backglass and cabinets. And basically what that means is he did a lot of the concept stuff. That backglass right there for the LE, that is the first piece we worked on together. And you can see elements and probably pick out who did what where, but there was a lot of overlap, and we just sort of passed things around, things like that. But
and a lot of this was we had to develop a world, right? Usually you're going like, hey, I'm following a movie, like Jaws artwork looks like Jaws artwork, right? This one, it's like, all right, you're gonna make an all new King Kong, which is a lot more work and part of why we had multiple artists.
yeah, and we wanted it to stand out in a lineup of Kong derivatives because obviously this is it's free domain, public domain now, so other people might get the same idea. So we really wanted to kind of find what our angle was, and so we all just kind of worked together, and I of course having worked with Greg for about a decade now and been friends with him and being friends with Kevin, thought it was a good opportunity. I wish I could have come in sooner, but I was working on other things. But once I got in and once we started going to town, we had a good time. We don't hate each other. We still talk. I'm meeting Greg for lunch today.
Jeremy's now the art director, so I think he won.
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah. Well, in all fairness, during this process, and if you see Kevin, ask him how he's doing, because during this process, Kevin actually tore his Achilles tendon and had to have surgery.
I did that, yeah.
Oh, it was terrible. At that point, I picked up a little more work for him. I was like, okay, I'll take that. But yeah, no, it was a very it's a very unique thing. I mean, again, we're trying to create something that exists as sort of our own version that we can hopefully leverage elsewhere. We do have potentially some other products that might be using this license moving forward, and I can't talk about that. It's above my pay grade. But stuff that, collectibles, things like that would be pretty cool, I think. So it's exciting. And of course, I've worked with Keith on a few of his games, including his very first one. Matter of fact, I taught him a lot on that game. He had no idea what he was doing.
None of us did.
And I said,
It's almost like you're making it up as you go along.
I said, no, Keith, you need more than one flipper. That's where we started. And he's like, what about three? Was that the first three flippers?
It's the fourth flipper? No.
I'm sorry, first four?
No. It's the first one we had done.
In a while, yeah, that's what I thought. You brought it back. You made it popular.
Now we got rid of pop-uppers.
Yeah, no kidding.
Violated every rule.
Yeah. What's going on?
It's okay this time. I accept it.
Yeah, it is acceptable the way he does it, but yeah. So it was just it's a big collaboration. I mean, pinball is a collaboration, and being able to pull in two legends, and I got to pretend to that I fit in with them, which I don't. But maybe in like 20, 30 years if I survive. If I don't get fired. No. But any questions? or any insults. You don't want to post
Save those for the
online?
internet.
I do have a quote
Save
for
your
you.
insults for
I do have a quote
the
for you.
forums.
I can't. So I've been. Listen, I do read the internet.
Please don't.
I tried.
Stop.
I tried.
All these folks have to read the internet after they post stuff too.
You guys see like 8 mean tweets from Jimmy Kimmel? We like to sit around.
Oh yeah, no, we do save those.
read,
Those are
we
fun.
do the same thing here.
Yeah, well, those are fun. But I actually, the response that keeps coming, and I kept going, I got to respond, but I'm not going to do it. I got to respond. The best response I got so far was just thanks for one of the insults. That was it. And then I'm like, okay, I'm done. I'm not going to. But I was trying to think. I'm like, man, I got some. So anyway, this is my response. If I could, to everyone, and this is a quote. You can quote me on this. And I just want to say, and this is something I've always felt, that there's nothing quite so visually subtle and understated as a pinball machine. Anyway.
Kong. Not the same case with Godzilla. So we do not, we're not, well, we have a great relationship with Toho, but it's not unilaterally our decision. So we will see.
Never say never.
That's the trilogy of
That's why we're
Godzilla
really
versus
happy to have
Kong.
something that is ours that we can make decisions that are right for pinball with, and we don't have to ask for permission every time, even though Joe loves asking for permission. It gets a little old after a while.